Hello everyone, I am a senior AI product manager at Google. Outside work, I run awesome LLM apps, unwind AI, and create daily content for 350,000 plus developers. I don't do that by working 18 hours a day. I do that with a small AI agent team that works for me 24/7. Monica here is my chief of staff. Ross helps manage the awesome LLM apps repo, a GitHub repo with 110,000 plus stars. And Dwight runs the daily research sweeps for me. Kelly and Rachel helps with X and LinkedIn content. And Pam here drafts a newsletter. And I manage all of them through Telegram. They do not wait for me to prompt them. They run on schedules, send me reports, review their own work, and escalate what needs my decision. In this episode, I'm going to show you exactly how this works. The real agent team, the real workflows, the cron jobs, the Telegram messages, and the entire recipe behind it. Not a polished demo, the actual system that I use every single day. So this is where I actually manage my agents. Familiar surface Telegram. I do not want a new app or a dashboard to manage them. I would want to manage the agents where I do the work, where I am actively present and I'm present from all my surface, from my phone, from my laptop, everywhere I can see them. You see here Monica, she is my chief of staff. Then we have all these agents, Ross, Kelly, Rachel, Dwight, and Pam. The naming is the fun part. It is basically what would happen if friends in the office had a crossover and became my agent team. Monica here is Monica Geller from Friends. Dwight is Dwight Schrute from The Office. Ross is the nerdy guy from The Friends. And similarly, you have like Kelly Kapoor and Pam. And each of these, if you would see here, each of these have specific personalities, which is specific to the work that they do for me. The story behind this, like how it all started, the whole thing started 4 months ago when Open Claw got released. Monica then became my first Open Claw agent. At that point, I was not trying to build a full agent team. I just needed a chief of staff, someone I could talk to about the work that I'm juggling with. I have to manage awesome LLM apps repo, unwind a newsletter, create content, GitHub, and all of that. It has been taking a lot of time for me. And more importantly, this being my side job, I could not spend like 4 or 5 hours every day figuring this out. So I started giving Monica the context I would to a new intern or to a new employee. Not here's everything and go figure it out. More like here's the situation, here's the standard, here's what good looks like, and here's what I do not want you to do, right? Which is very, very important. Once Monica started understanding the operating system around me, like how I work, how I talk, what I like, what I don't, the rest of the team became obvious. I did not wake up one day and say, okay, let me go and build 7 agents. Monica really helped identify the workflows from our conversation, and those workflows eventually became these agents. And that is how the team was formed. Now, let me show you what each of these agents actually do. Let's start with Dwight. So I've already prompted Dwight to send me a screen share friendly summary of today's intels. What Dwight actually does is sweeps the entire internet for me, scans the internet for me, includes X, Hacker News, Reddit, GitHub, blogs from big labs, and papers, which if I have to do manually, it would take a lot of time. I have to be terminally online and I could get distracted, end up scrolling for hours. I miss things, or maybe I over-index on what I saw last. Dwight's job is to be a signal layer, not to decide what I talk about, just collect everything, dedupe, and report what is happening. So I don't have to be online, or I don't have to be there on all these platforms. So you can see like Dwight does this, like this is what like today's report looks like. He goes to all these places, he gets things from X, he gets things from Google's blog, Nvidia's blog, and all these different places. And I asked Dwight what that really looks like, and he created this nice visual diagram for me. 92 signal surface, this is what I got from morning and afternoon, this is the breakdown by type, releases, open source projects, research. It goes and even find discourse on Reddit and Hacker News, and it finds all these things. You can see the structure here. Dwight groups signals into all these like different buckets. Each item has the basic receipt, like what happened, who is involved, what's the traction on these topics. The point is not any one item. The point is that Dwight turns all this messy information into something that I can easily consume. And the downward team, the agent team can actually use. Kelly uses it for X, Rachel uses it for LinkedIn, Pam uses it for the newsletter, and that's what Dwight actually do, and that's what Dwight really helps with. Now let's move to Ross next. Ross is my engineering agent. He helps manage Awesome LLM apps repo. Let me quickly show you what Awesome LLM apps repo look like. So here you can see, like, this is the Awesome LLM apps repo, a collection of 100 plus AI agent and RAG templates, super popular, almost 17,000 forks, 113,000 stars. You get like incoming number of issues and PRs all the time. Ross helps me manage that. Ross even has its own GitHub account. So Ross gets his own GitHub account where he maintains his commit history. This is the GitHub account for Ross. The problem it is solving is that with a repo that large, the number of issues in PR you get daily is immense. You get bug reports, you get spam, you get readme only submission, there are stale PRs, and there are things that need my decision. And as a side project, it was impossible for me to manage that influx of issues and PRs without spending hours. So what Ross does is actually put it all together in a nice engineering report, sends me daily at 10 a.m. in the morning to my Telegram. So I get the report delivered with the latest issues, the PRs, what's good to merge, what need changes, what does Ross recommend closing, what does the repo health look like. Yesterday I asked Ross to just like put together a workflow of how it works, what does an engineering report look like, what he creates, and he came up with this nice visual that you can see. This is how Ross really works. He's actually turning all this chaos into a simple decision queue for me. Next, let's look at Kelly, our next agent. What Kelly does is she reads Dwight's intel, checks what's working for my account by looking at last 30 days of data. I asked Kelly to create a simple process flow diagram for how she works. Here you can see all these cron jobs where at 9 a.m., 1 a.m., 1 p.m, she'll go and scout for anything that is going viral. At 5 p.m, she'll draft based on Dwight's intel. Here she has written how she uses Dwight's intel. Dwight is just a collector. Kelly is the curator for X. Again, Kelly does not decide what I post. She helps me surface the right signals. She helps me filter out the noise that my audience would be interested in. And the most important thing here is Kelly isn't just creating these drafts, or Kelly isn't suggesting these posts based on just the raw signal that's coming from Dwight. She's actually looking at my X, my last 30-day performance, what posted good, what did not work, what could be improved, and based on all of that, she comes up with suggestion. And here you can see the entire flywheel, like from a signal she becomes scout, then she decides and drafts. So this is what the entire process looks like for Kelly. Now Rachel handles LinkedIn for us. I purposefully kept Rachel separate from Kelly because LinkedIn and X behave very differently. Rachel uses Dwight's intel. Dwight is the upstream for all my agents. It's like his one and only job is scan the internet and put together all the signals that would be relevant for the audience. And all the other agents helps connect the dot based on specific platform. This is Rachel's LinkedIn workflow. Read the Dwight's intel, put together an Alex filter. Alex is the persona that I created, which is similar to what my audience would like and react to. It keeps only AI agent builder signal that people can actually install or play with, and remove all the fluff, remove all the announcement posts and all those things. Then the next thing that Rachel does is, again, this is where the intelligence really comes in. Every month I upload my LinkedIn performance data and send it to Rachel. She keeps that ledger, the performance ledger, intact with her. And every time when she looks at these posts, she's actually looking at the signal, plus again what worked, what did not work in the past, and based on that she's giving me a list of posts, or she's giving me a list of drafts that I can post. She's finding patterns, she's finding the winning patterns, the losing patterns, she's finding what works, what does not work. Again, the idea here is not to have an AI agent write social posts for me, but the idea here is to serve the best interest of my audience. With all the noise going on, I would want to give them the best thing that has happened today. I would want to give them the most useful thing that they can use. And that's the difference that Rachel helps me create, instead of just using ChatGPT and Claude for generating these posts. Next, let's move to Pam. Pam is based on the office character. She's nice, warm, and sweet, and that's what makes her perfect for my newsletter agent. She again reads Dwight's intel, picks up the lead, build a hierarchy, put together some quality gates, and ship the newsletter. So Pam is not like a summarizer. I don't think of her as a summarizer. She's more like a co-editor. She's making some intelligent decisions. She's not just giving me, okay, these are the newsletter insights and these are the links associated with them. She helps me put together the information in a way that is actually readable, that is actually digestible, that actually makes sense. More like a newsletter. I still review. That does not mean I don't do any work. I still review, I still edit, and the final judgment and the final call is still mine. But the starting point here is much stronger and less time consuming because the research, the selection, and the structure is already there. So Pam does all of that, and then she sends me a very nice newsletter here, fully formatted on Telegram. And the interesting thing is, not only does she send the newsletter on Telegram, but she also sends me a nice HTML file or a nice HTML based newsletter via my email. So every evening, let me show you that quickly. Every evening I get an email from Pam with a properly arranged and with a beautiful looking newsletter. So this was the email that she sent me yesterday. Here you can see the newsletter from yesterday. It is like nicely formatted. It has like all the information that needs to be there with links and everything. Yeah, so she does all of that automatically without me asking for that. She runs on cron, she runs proactively, she does that, reads Dwight's intel and do that for me automatically. Let's go back to our Telegram agents and look at the system level view. Now that you have seen the outputs, here is how they actually run. A lot of this does not start with me asking. A lot of these are proactive. Agents being proactive, agents running on schedule, agents running on cron, and proactively doing the work. I would split the system into two types of scheduled work. First, there are production workflows, which you see in table 1. These are agents actually doing a specific task or a job. For example, Dwight running the morning intel sweep, saving it in this specific file. And here you can see, again, I asked Monica to generate it for me. So you guys have a very nice and clean table to look at. Then you have Kelly running the viral scouts at 9 and 1 p.m. daily, Ross running the daily engineering report, and the sweep for us managing the GitHub repos. So I have a proactive understanding of what's happening with my repo without actually looking at all the issues and the PRs myself. So these are all the agents doing specific tasks every day on these specific times, running on schedules. They wake up automatically, they do these things, report back to me on things that need my attention. Then the interesting part is the review loops. So you might have seen the production workflows already where agents goes on and do these things automatically. But you cannot have these agents running forever without having them to improve, right? They should look back at what happened. They should look back at what worked, what didn't, what needed my attention, what broke, what should change next time. That's how the agents improve. And that's where the real alpha is. That's what makes the agents actually work and get better over time. Think of this as a retrospective that we do as humans. The agents do the work, they review the work. Here you can see all of them have self-review. Kelly is reviewing the X performance. Every month, Ross is doing a self-review of everything that he has done, like all the issues, PRs that he has flagged and what I decided to do with it. Based on that, he can actually learn more about me, get more context, and learn more about my choices. Similarly, Rachel is doing LinkedIn performance review. And in the end, just like you would have a manager in your corporate office or in your job who is reviewing a lot of their employees. Similarly, Monica being the lead, Monica being the chief of staff, she actually goes in twice in a week, bi-weekly, and reviews a lot of these agents, actually reviews everything that these agents did and creates these agents. Here is what the creating actually looks like. So this is a job from June 1. Monica actually went and created the entire squad, like overall grade B+, not doing that great. We have to get better, of course. And then she actually went ahead and graded everything, and with a specific reason why she graded these. Plus, then she can look at system level changes, things that have changed, things that needs to be changed to improve the system. So the review loop becomes really, really useful when Monica looks at the whole team. Individually, agents can review their own work and get better, but that's not generating an overall alpha for us. So Monica can actually ask Dwight if she can see if Dwight is collecting too much noise. She can see if Kelly is producing the right angles. Is Rachel actually learning from LinkedIn data? Is Ross giving me decisions that I can act on? And there are problems that are not really individual agent problems, but team and coordination problems. Monica can actually see that because she sits horizontally and manages the entire team. That's why I think self-reviewing agents are super underrated, and agents should not only do work, they should help you understand how the work is going. Here is how Monica manages the entire flywheel, or Monica does the review for the entire agent team. Agents do the work, they update the memory, they review, Monica reviews the entire thing, gives feedback, and this is how the entire system improves. She does the grading, and there are like 2 levels of review as we discussed before. There's monthly self-review and there's a squad level review that is bi-weekly. And through these review cycles, through these self-reflecting cycles, this is how the agents really improve. One question that people may ask who might have looked at my content and have seen me talking about Open Claw and Hermes, they ask why Open Claw and Hermes both. Here also you see like I have this Monica Hermes going on with all these Open Claw agents. The simplest way to explain this is Open Claw is where the system started and Hermes is where the system is evolving. Open Claw gave me the original squad. That is where Monica, Dwight, Ross, Kelly, Rachel, Pam started as named agent with their own roles, Telegram workflows, scheduled jobs, memory files, and specialist tasks. Hermes is now becoming the operating layer on the top. It gives me a strong front door with all the context of what each of the Open Claw agents is doing. If I have to ask a very specific question, all I have to do is just go through Hermes and ask any question that I would have. And Hermes knows the entire context of the squad. It can figure out everything that it needs to do and give me very specific answer. So I do not think of them as competing systems. Open Claw gave me the squad and Hermes gives me the operating layer. And if you're watching this and thinking, okay, where do I actually start from? I would not start by copying this entire setup as is. I would start much smaller. That is what I'll show you next. So for you to get started, and if I was starting today, I would not try to copy this whole setup. I would just go to this website, Hermes, and that's where I would start. I would start with Hermes and one workflow. All you have to do is just follow this, write this simple command in your terminal, do a Hermes setup, which will automatically walk you through the onboarding process, install it, go through the process, get that done. That's what I'll do today. I'll start with one simple workflow that is taking a lot of my time, that gets repeated almost every day or every week, and that takes a lot of my attention. It could be a research sweep or managing your GitHub repo or a customer feedback cycle, anything that's specific to you and that takes a lot of your time. That's where I would start. Then you improve the same way you would improve a teammate or you would onboard a teammate. You start with a very specific place and then you gradually improve their responsibilities, expand their scope, you give them feedback, you give them more context, you see what's working, see what's not working, review their output, and move from there. This is when the agent becomes useful, not because it's impressive, but because it keeps doing a real job without you rebuilding the context every time. And this is basically how my setup grew. It started with Monica, just one chief of staff to help me keep track of things. Then I started talking to Monica, gave her all the context that I'm struggling with, all the work streams that I'm doing. And gradually it grew into an agent team where I now have agents helping me with research, GitHub, LinkedIn, newsletter, and squad reviews. So it's a fully functioning team that works on its own, that reviews themselves, and that have an agent manager, Monica, who is doing the review of the entire squad. And I am operating like a CEO, looking at my team, looking at the squad reviews, and making decisions from my phone, just from my phone. And the important part here is not the number of agents. I still review the work. I still make the decisions. I still fix the system when it breaks. That's the reality. The difference is that I'm not starting from scratch every time. The agents keep the work moving until I have to step in. And this is the part I think is worth trying. Today, if you are starting, just pick one workflow that keeps stealing your time. Give it one agent, make it useful, and the next agent will become obvious. That's it. Thank you.